bit of the insight and really that whole story and immersive environment that we're trying to create here to really bring the town of Harambe, one of the original lands of the park, to life. So we have Imagineers Emily O'Brien and Joan Hartwig. And we also have Chef Leonard right here. This was a big collaboration between multiple departments that had to come together. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand it off to our wonderful Imagineers.
Jumbo, welcome everyone to Disney's Animal Kingdom. You are getting a rare treat to get an early look at our newest addition to Animal Kingdom, and this is Harambe Market. Harambe Market is an expansion of our existing Animal Kingdom Africa story, and this location is very authentically duplicates UNESCO World Heritage Site, Lamu, Kenya, in East Africa, upon which our existing Harambe village is based. And this area generally, I think, a little more than doubles our existing Harambe location. And all of the surfaces that you see in here, the architecture, the Swahili arches, the stacked coquina walls, are all taken from the architecture of Lamu and Mombasa in East Africa. Excuse me. I'll get them to stop. Sorry about that. Can you, Diego, can you get them to cut that? Sorry, we're still building. There you go.
It's an active zone.
Yeah. So, I'll wait until...
Does it end right down there, or can you go around the corner? Or?
Actually, because we don't have this construction finished, I can't let you go farther in.
Once it's open, is it a dead end down that way?
Yes, actually, it's really interesting because we've leveraged existing views to the train that goes out to Conservation Station. So that train platform we modeled after, I had the opportunity to travel with some team members to Africa, and all of our props were purchased in Africa, so we tried to make it super authentic. But we're engaging the train, and the guests on the train will be able to look back into the site, so it's a great space. But, and I think Emily will talk a little bit about this, but this actually is a new bypass that connects the exit of Kilimanjaro Safari into the path that takes you to Asia or back out to Africa.
Yeah, but, so I can jump in on that just real quick, and then you can tell a little bit more of the story. But what we're trying to do here, operationally, we've been working with all of our partners here at the park to look at what do we want to do to expand and make this a more fun experience for our guests. And one of the things that we're doing is eliminating places where you go to the end of a street and then have to turn around and go back out. So that connection that Joan was talking about is going to be great for having a nice circular flow through this now 3 kind of little area village of Harambe. So we've got our theater district, which you probably talked about when I went over there, and then the main street, and then we've now got this kind of marketplace area.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes. So that we want an adventure around every corner. So now guests, whether you've been to the park before or you're a new guest, we have a lot of experiences in Harambe. We've got Festival of the Lion King, live entertainment, Kilimanjaro Safari, and now Harambe Market, where you can come and enjoy a cool beverage after the safari. And I know Chef Lenny is going to talk a little bit about the food offerings here.
So the food here, as we talked about, the train comes by, but with the train comes new products. And the train might have got that product from a ship. If you think about the old ancient spice routes, they brought spices from lands like this all over the world. But what they also did was bring back cuisine from other areas to the locals. So this is a locally run shop, and the food offerings here are modeled after exotic foods. So an American-style corn dog, some barbecue ribs from around different areas of the world. You've got chicken skewers, which are all through the Mediterranean, and also we have a flatbread sandwich, which is similar to a shawarma or a gyro, but they've all been kind of Africanized for the locals. So it's not just, American barbecue. It's a Karubi pork rib with a green papaya, rainbow carrot slaw, and the sauce is actually made with a North African ras halanu, which is a spice blend that can have up to 20 different spices in it. And it's just really incredible. Our corn dog, the batter's been laced with curry. It's a South African boerewurst or farmer's sausage of beef and pork. It's got some clove and some nutmeg and some garlic, and it's like nothing you've ever seen. It's actually about this long when it's finished, and we think our guests will we tried to set out and make every shop have a truly iconic item that guests will enjoy for years. Our beverages are also here. We've got some South African wines. We also have Bibo and Sparberry, which are two exotic sodas that we'll be serving, and a tangerine lemonade, as well as many, many different beers. And remember, you're in Africa, so the imports are domestics and the domestics are imports.
Now you've got their mouths watering.
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah.
We are tasting the African corn dog tomorrow at the press event, starting at 9:30.
Yeah.
Make sure you get a bite because it's really super awesome.
Are the South African wines that will be here, are they different from what you could get elsewhere in the park or the restaurants here?
I'm not the beverage expert, and I'm pretty sure what we've slated here are just an expansion of what we have available around.
And Chef, how many food and beverage locations does it make for the park?
That I'd have to get back to you on.
So it certainly has grown since the park originally opened, right?
It has grown, and you know, this is. We looked at it as it's almost like 4 kiosks that are put together to make this incredible covered dining experience. It's like it's an African market, is what it is.
Yeah, it's really modeled on the street food, and that's why it fits so well in this market scene. We wanted to reflect the energy with the color, with the food, the entire experience.
So it's a window service?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And we don't have, we have to finish the layers of story yet. We'll have tables and chairs under all these shade structures with fans, so guest comfort is very important to us.
It's going to be a really great place to come and have a snack and take a load off and just relax and enjoy.
Yeah, you have to come back and experience it when we're all.
Yeah, and I think everybody actually saw the train going by right now. That scrim will actually kind of go
Yeah,
away,
the green
so
will
it's
go
going
away.
to play
You'll
really
get a
well
view
with.
right through that fence.
Nice.
So if you're on the train, you're actually facing this way, so you can actually see the people eating and then say, oh, I want to go over there. That looks amazing, and you can smell it when you try. It's going to be great.
So it'll just advertise and sell itself, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Will there be a stage for music?
Actually, we have been in conversation with creative entertainment partners, and this train platform will be used for entertainment as well as the current storytelling. So they're still developing that program.
Is there any stores in here?
Actually, it's a great question. Just beyond us, I don't think you can see it because of these buildings in the way. Down through this pathway, we're actually opening Zuri's Sweet Shop. And that's an expansion on the backside of Mombasa Marketplace. And Zuri is another one of our colorful vendors, and she is offering sweets and granola and baked goods in her shop, and that will be an extension on this side for the guests. And there's all other merchandise offerings in there too.
So like fresh baked items?
Yes.
Do you have a square footage number for the expansion?
We have 220 seats that we're adding out here, but I don't have. I'd have to give you the overall
we'd have to
square
get back
footage
on that
edition.
Opening date or projection?
Opening is in late May.
Oh,
It's fast.
yeah. So
Yeah.
for the summer
We're
season.
right around the corner.
We're
Yes.
So
Very close.
by adding the theater district and now this expansion, why so much focus on growing Harambe Village?
Well, our guests love Harambe, and it's an incredible story, and the stories of the animals in Africa and our relationship to the animals in Africa is an important global story, and upon which our whole park is based. So it made sense that we would expand Harambe because of, you know, guest interest and our interest in, and it's an incredibly rich culture, and the story deserved to be expanded into this space.
And it almost kind of like really brings it as a whole now with that district, with
Exactly.
the town of Harambe, with the market. Now it's more
Exactly. It increases the dimension of the story.
And it's really pretty much the size of a real town
Of a
in
real,
Africa. Like
small
this is
African
about
town.
what an
Exactly.
African town
Exactly.
size would be. So you get
Very,
to kind
very
of
similar to the
experience
feel of London.
Yeah.
If you have the chance to go there, it's incredible.
Yeah, you mentioned that you went to Africa. Was there anything that you took away in particular that inspired you to bring in here? Something that really stood out?
I had the chance to go on safari and also to visit these coastal towns, and they were spectacularly beautiful. And so having the opportunity to to study the finishes and meet the people and look at the textiles and taste the food and be in that environment is so important for an Imagineer. It's exactly how we like to do our research here at Animal Kingdom, to make sure that we get that authenticity and bring it back. And so as an artist, as a designer, and with the teams that go there, we want to really study intimately those surfaces and the culture. Make sure we're not missing that overarching energy and what knits everything together.
Yeah, because you can look at pictures, but then you can't peek around the corner and say, oh, what happens when you do that? So you got to have the full experience.
Is there a detail you want me to notice in particular? Like something that you brought over and say, I hope people appreciate that?
I got one. You do yours, though.
No, go for it. Yeah.
The Mickey.
Oh, yeah, they can't see that.
No, it's down there. You'll have to come back. But Mickey is portrayed in many ways around the world, and they're not, Disney Mickeys, but you can tell that's what they're going for. So we have a Mickey on one of our walls, and it's pretty awesome.
That is rendered as you see it in developing countries, and it's
not
really charming.
Not quite the right shape.
I think it's
copyright
not.
infringement.
Yeah, but to me, it's not just about a detail. It's about how you feel in the space. We want you to. I want you to feel the warmth and welcoming that I felt when I went to that place. I want you to feel that here, which at Disney we want you to feel that everywhere anyway. But I think it's very important to me to, when I go to a new place, to ensure that I'm not, or when we're building a space, that we're not playing to any kind of stereotype, and the architecture is so rich, and the culture is so rich and inventive and beautiful that it's the whole energy and experience that I hope the guests feel, instead of just a specific detail. But we've layered lots of detail into the space so that no matter how many times you come back, you'll notice something new with each visit.
Is there anything unique about the landscaping? I know there's a challenge with making Florida plants look like Africa.
That's a great question. I think, interestingly, one of the team members that traveled with me is Russell Larson, who's one of our landscape architects. And he was specifically interested. A lot of times we have to look for plants that look like they belong in that environment, and so, but we find plants that look like those species but can thrive in Florida. And so you'll see a lot of the plant material that's around here, and we do have a lot of acacias that have been planted that are also in Africa, that we plant in our Africa. We have sausage trees. We have a sausage tree in the back, and next to the sausage vendor, curried sausage vendor, no pun intended, but and so that's important to us to reflect the landscape as well. One of the layers.
Chef, are you thinking that the food might be seasonal?
Right now, it's not planned to be, but with everything we do, the ideas never stop. And once we open, our guests will tell us what they really love and what they don't love. And we also get to see how many menu items we can handle, because we're not going to sacrifice our quality. We do fewer items if we had to make sure that they were great every time. But sometimes we build a great facility and the cast members get in there, and all of a sudden you find out you can have 2 more menu items, and that's not a problem.
Is Joe providing art direction or story development on his project?
Joe is always providing.
Yeah.
Joe, if you don't know who Joe is, Joe Rohde is our creative executive, fearless leader, incredible creative communicator and visionary, who's the leader of Disney's Animal Kingdom. And he will be here, I think, is it next week? Yeah. But he's here constantly. He's involved in many projects, and but he's the ultimate reviewer and our director of all of our projects here at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. And I'll say for this project, it was probably the earliest that we've ever engaged with Joe and the Imagineering team, and the collaboration was just amazing to have it from the start, what the vision would be.
Yeah, it was really important to us as the team leadership to make sure that we were engaging everybody that needed to have an opinion about how things were going or are going to live with it. Once we're done designing, we say, okay, here you go, have your baby, and now it's yours. So we want to make sure everyone gets to participate in that creative development.
Any other questions?
Did you hit on any challenges, or did everything go pretty smoothly on this project?
We always have challenges. That's one of the, I like challenge in work. And a lot of our challenges are, how do we duplicate these materials in materials that have to meet local codes? So there's always that challenge, but that's what I like about the job. What all the Imagineers like about their jobs is meeting that challenge, to be honest. And so I think it's always the challenge of material and that brass ring of exceeding guest expectations. But I think it's this, really deep collaboration, and I've been with the company for 25 years, and we're really collaborating earlier and earlier across the park with all of our partners more tightly to make sure that Imagineering is really sharing everybody's vision in what we produce.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.